Hi, my name is Lindsay Thompson, and I'm here to talk to you today about standardized testing and why it should be removed from our schools. Standardized testing is something that your child is taught from day one, and it's not a part of the normal curriculum. Your child is pretty much being taught how to take a test. Often, young children suffer from death at an early age, which just means they fail a standardized test and then they take a remedial class and forced to be held behind. You would think that these tests are normal and objective and fair, but they're not. Really, you would have to be a white, middle-class male in order to be able to relate to this and pass the test. Imagine with me for a second. You're taking your kindergartner to their first day of kindergarten, and you are so proud of your student and how they're going to be reaching this milestone. About a week later, you get the semester newsletter and you see the main events. You see that your student has to take the Performance Matters test on December the 4th, and you think to yourself, how are these young children going to take a standardized test on a computer that they hardly use? You think about it, but you don't worry about it because you know that your child is very smart. Well, December 5th comes, and you see that your child failed and that their teacher wants to meet with you to put them in a remedial class. What would you do? I can tell you that I personally worry about the education of our students. I'm friends with many teachers, and I want to be a teacher myself. And they say that standardized tests hold the students back, cause them to fail. What would you do if you're this parent in their shoes? Would you comply with the teacher and put in a remedial class, or you take matters into your own hands? In 2011, it was shown that 45,000 schools in the United States are failing schools. That was just in 2011, going into 2012. Imagine what it is now. Some students just learn how to take a test. It is shown that by the end of 2012, 82% of schools were failing schools. So why is this important? Because this is your children's future. Your children's future and education that you are responsible for. And the more that they are taught to take a standardized test, the more they're going to fail. Researchers have concluded that standardized testing is reproducing the social inequalities of race, gender, and socioeconomic class, as confirmed in a recent report from the Manitoba Center of Health and Policy. Children from families of lower socioeconomic status do not do as well as children from higher economic statuses. The higher up the socioeconomic status you are, the more likely you are to do good on a test. Education is something that should be attainable for people of all walks of life. It would be great to be a parent and watch your child succeed. And there are many ways that you can accomplish this by doing smart things for the child. So how do you do this? Well, you talk to your child's teacher. You're active in your child's life and you participate in their education. You meet with the teacher and you make a game plan and decide, hey, well, this is how my child learns and this is how we're going to teach them to look beyond the standardized test. And then you say, well, if this doesn't work, we're going to put them in a private or a home school. Imagine your child is graduating. Your child is successful. Your child is going to a great school. All of this can be accomplished. Do what it takes to be a part of your child's education and be proactive with their education. Do what it takes to see your child successful and see how they learn. With all of this information being told to you, there's a lot for you to think about. One thing you'd want to think about is how we could fix this. How could we be a part of our child's education? How can we make this something that we all agree on? Because their futures are at stake. Let's talk about some viable solutions. 1, let's take action and just go ahead and remove the standardized tests from the schools. You would remove these tests and you would replace them with teacher-developed assessments. Teacher-developed means that the teacher sits there and says, well, this is how my class learns. This is how the students in my class learn, and this is how we're going to test them for their success. And then, after that, you would do a teacher-student-parent conference. Every time there is a teacher-developed assessment given, you do the conference. And each time you make a plan to start with, and then you would check it off as you go. That way the parent, the student, and the teacher are all on the same playing field. In conclusion, you want to make sure that you are doing the best for your child. Standardized testing is not the best for your child. It's not the best for any children because they're not giving a fair level to learn. We want to take anything that's not fair away from them and coach them and teach them how to be successful in their own way because we all learn differently. Please be active in your students' life and please help encourage standardized testing from being removed from our schools. Thank you and have a great day.